Can you hear me?
Recording. Yeah, I can hear you.
Your thing.
Okay. Well, I do have here a rolled up blanket.
Okay.
So if you could grab a rolled up blanket or something, that will be good. And we'll kind of play with how thick you want your roll to be as we get into that part. But let's just start seated. I'm actually just going to sit on my roll for a second. But if you have a cushion or anything that you want to sit on, you can go ahead and find just a place to sit to start with. We're just really living in a tumultuous world. And this month, we've been focusing on our bliss body, our joy body, that's deep at the core of our natural being, of who we are designed to be. But we do have a whole lot of layers on top of that, right? We have our physical body and our energy body that's accessed through our breath. And we have like that nervous system body, our chemical body. And all of these things kind of need to find some equilibrium and alignment for us to really be able to access that joy, right? When our nervous system is on high alert, it's really hard for us to even just even to feel like joy is possible often. And that's how our nervous system is designed. It's like we have the hardware of our body and the nerves that run all through it. And then we have an operating system, like the default operating system that comes with this hardware. Like when we get a new phone, we have an operating system that just comes with it. And like our default program that our brain is running is vigilance. Something's gone wrong. Something's gone wrong. And it's a survival mechanism that keeps us safe. If we're looking for the things that have gone wrong, then we can protect ourselves. But it backfires often, right? And it blocks us from really being able to access joy. But we just have that natural negativity bias. Negative experiences just kind of stick in our brain like Velcro, right? And then the positive ones just kind of slough off. And, if you think of people that have a fear of dogs, or, you can have 100 positive experiences with a dog and then get bitten once, right? And then be afraid. So when we have positive experiences, because they do tend to slough off of our brain like Teflon, we need to pause with them. And, think like this is installation. This is what I'm installing, that we breathe and feel. I've had several of those experiences. I love when the weather shifts this time of year, and this week, the weather here has been amazing. This week in September, we've been in the 70s. The air feels crisp and clear, and the skies are blue. It just feels so good. When we come against those experiences, when we see like the joyful exuberance of little tiny children when they discover something new or are fascinated with the newest bug crawling on the sidewalk, we just need to pause and watch and breathe with that so that gets installed and really allow ourselves to feel the sensations that joy causes in our bodies so that we have that to return to and so that we can start to create that habit of feeling joy. And one of the tools that we have to really calm our nervous system, get into our bodies, feel those sensations is our breath. And so as we move through our short movement practice today, we'll really be focusing on opening our lungs using our diaphragm to access the full capacity of our breath and just kind of get ourselves, our whole body in a really calm state, and then we'll meditate. So let's use our ujaayi breath as we sit here at the beginning of our class. And this is, you'll find a slight constriction in the back of your throat and kind of harness your inner Darth Vader. So as you breathe in through your nose, let yourself feel the warm air coming through your throat and resist it a little bit. And so you hear an ocean-like sound as the air comes in through your nose and through that tightness in your throat. And then keep that tightness in your throat as you exhale out through your nose. And let it be audible back in your throat. Feel free to close your eyes or keep them open, whatever feels most grounding for you. And see if you can really breathe with effort here. So intentionally inhale against kind of that slight resistance in your throat as you really effort the air into your lungs. And then exhale through your nose with that resistance in your throat. And work to expel all of the air. And I don't know if the microphone picks up the sound of my breath. But it's really intentional and pretty loud, even though my lips are closed. Breathe in through your nose with that ocean-like sound in the back of your throat, and out through your nose. And let's just take 3 more breaths here. And on this last breath, I want you to really just take stock of how it feels to breathe into your rib cage and your lungs and your belly. So there's anywhere that feels restricted or tight, or just the effort that it takes to really fill your lungs. And then if your eyes are closed open, we're going to move onto our bellies. And this is where we're going to use our rolled up blanket. And so this may take some experimenting, especially if you just ate. If you've eaten recently, we're actually going to lay with the roll in our belly, like underneath our ribs. And what we're trying to really do is get some pressure on our diaphragm. Okay. And so your diaphragm's kind of a tent. It's going to come down as you inhale and push up as you exhale. And so you can roll up a towel or a blanket, lay with it on the soft part of your belly, and you can have yourself propped up on your forearms, or you can have forehead to stacked hands. And it's not going to be the most comfortable thing you've ever done in your life, but hopefully you can settle into it. And if one thickness just is way too much, then just unroll it a little bit and lay on that. Okay, so just experiment for a second or two, and then let yourself settle with that soft belly underneath your ribs. Okay, kind of wiggle so it can settle down up into your belly. And then come back to that ujjayi breath. And as you inhale, really think about pushing your belly into the blanket. And as you exhale, really think about just melting your belly and letting that blanket kind of come in and up under your ribs. Let yourself hear your voice in the back of your throat. Relax your legs. And let that blanket kind of get down up under your rib cage. Push your belly into the blanket and then completely relax it with every exhale. And this kind of pressure kind of helps give some feedback to all that connective tissue, like the fascia of your diaphragm also connects really intimately and intricately and firmly to the pericardium, the fascial layer around your heart. And that master nerve, your vagus nerve, that helps you regulate your arousal and your relaxation, is really deeply stimulated by deep diaphragmatic motion and pressure. So we'll just take one more round of breath here on our belly. And hopefully after some time, it kind of feels less intense and just a little more relaxing to lay here. And then we'll roll over onto one side. It doesn't matter what side you do first. I'm doing my left because that way I'll be facing you. But you're going to keep the roll in that soft part of your waist. Just rest your head in your hand, or if you have a block or something to use as a pillow, you can do that, or bring your arm to your head to your arm. Once you get settled, come back to that ujjayi breath. And so you're really drawing air in with effort and expelling it with effort and sound. And think about breathing into that space that's connected to the blanket. kind of push down into the blanket and then let yourself melt into it as you exhale. We're just doing the sides of our belly. And see if you can relax it as much as possible. We're going to kind of stay on this side, but you're just going to roll a little bit toward your back. So you kind of have the pressure of the blanket more on your kidney area. So the side of your lower back. So I'm going to plant this right foot on the floor, lean back a little bit. And then I want you to think about breathing into that back body space, that kidney area, and pushing that space firmly into the blanket with your inhale and then relaxing it with your exhale. You can always adjust what your head's doing. Just find what's easiest for you to relax. Often, like this kind of laying around is hard for us to let ourselves do. We think, I need a workout, right? But part of the point of our workout is so that we get more resilient in our ability to handle stress. And that's what we're doing here. We're really working with our respiratory system, the organs of our lungs, the muscle of our diaphragm, and the effect that has on our whole nervous system and our capacity to handle stress. Right? And when we're able to do that, then we can access joy. Okay, now let's roll to the other side and do the side lying. Just lay on your side. Let's see, got a battery pack there. So lay just with the soft part of your waist on your roll. And let yourself hear your breath. Arrange your arm and your head in a way that you can relax. And then really let yourself push your side waist into the blanket with your inhale. And then totally melt into it with your exhale. And then find that little roll back so that you're putting some pressure on that kidney area, more lower back. I'm just going to move this for a second. And you can adjust your head however feels best. I'm going to take that left foot and put it on the floor. And then breathe into that lower back, the side of your lower back. With your inhale, really push it into the prop underneath you. And we're intentionally breathing with that ujjayi breath. And after an exhale, just push your hands to get to the floor here. You could always grab some pillows from your couch. If you've got yoga blocks, you could put blocks under your hands so that this is not a huge strain on your shoulders. Okay? But just letting your lungs, your heart, and your upper back open, your shoulders. And same ujjayi breath here. And with your inhale, just think about pushing your ribs now into the blanket. And exhaling all the way. See if you can relax through your sides of your neck, your shoulders. So you're breathing with effort and intention, but you're not breathing with tension. You're not clenching your jaw to create that ujjayi breath. And then go ahead, bend both knees, roll to one side, and push yourself up to a seat. Just right where we started, and just feel what it feels like to breathe. And close your eyes for a couple of breaths. And just notice what your rib cage feels like. You can let go of the ujjayi breath. I definitely feel more energy and expansiveness in my rib cage. More ease and that expansion as I inhale. Okay, we'll do some movement. We'll kind of move a little bit more. So we'll start. You can do this just from a seated position. I'm going to kind of find this little modified squat. So sit so that your spine can be up tall. Your legs could be straight, bent. And then bring our arms to cactus shape. We found this already. Kind of let those lower ribs stay in, but you're opening up through your heart. Take a breath in. And then with a forceful ujjayi exhale, just twist to your right. And then your inhale can just be passive. It doesn't need to have any sound. And then exhale with a forceful ujjayi exhale to the left. We're just going to go back and forth with those cactus arms. If it feels better to like rest your hands on the back of your head, you can, but just a passive inhale and then an effortful exhale as you twist. To help wring out the air. And after a twist to the left, just release your arms. And feel your breath. And we'll find Ardha Matsyendrasana. So I'm going to take my left heel toward my right bum and then cross right foot over that left knee. And then let your belly and your thigh connect as you hug this right knee with your left arm. And settle in here. Now, if this is too much, if it's just hard to get that right hip to the floor, you can sit up on something or you can straighten your left leg. Just kind of do what you think your body is calling for. And this time we're going to have a really purposeful, effortful inhale and then just an easy passive exhale. So you'll inhale and really feel like you're pushing your belly against that thigh. And then just let your breath go. Inhale with that ujaayi sound in the back of your throat. And then let your breath go. Let's do 2 more breaths. And then release your twist. Find a cross leg with that right shin in front, or you could stack your right knee on top of your left. And then I want you to take your left thumb into your left ribs. Okay. And you can start a few ribs up. I want you to find that intercostal space with your thumb. So in between the ribs, kind of really dig a thumb in between the ribs and find a side bend. And then come back up and then move up to the next space between ribs. And then just find a side bend. Okay, and we're just going to keep going up to the next space and find a side bend. And then up to the next space. And work all the way up those ribs until you get up kind of to your armpit. So you're just going to keep going. And, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be perfectly between ribs if it's tricky to feel. You're just working your way up. And just dig in a side bend. I got maybe in 1 or 2 more left. And after you've made it all the way to the top of that rib cage, you'll probably find some spots that's way tender up under my armpit. And just find a really comfortable, easy cross-legged position and just check in. Notice the difference from one side to the other. And then we'll find that Ardha Matsyendrasana twist on the other side. So just left foot on the floor. And hug that with your right arm. Connect your belly to your thigh as close as they'll get, okay? And just arrange so that you're pretty comfortable. We're focused more on the breath than the flexibility here. So just arrange yourself so that you feel like you can get your belly and your thigh pretty close. So if you need to straighten that right leg out, do it. Forceful inhale through your nose. Really push that belly to your thigh. And then a passive, easy exhale, just whatever it wants to do. Let's do 2 more breaths here. And unwind yourself. Either stack this left knee on top of your right knee or just cross your left shin in front of your right shin. And we'll find that massage of those intercostal muscles in between your ribs. So, you can start kind of in the middle. You don't have to start your very lowest ribs. But dig thumb in there and then side bend. And then move up to the next rib and side bend. And just one at a time. Just take a thumb. You'll just notice you might get some spots that are a lot more tender. Certainly, the closer I get up into my armpit, the more tender it is. Just find that pressure as you push and side bend. I think I've got one last spot there. And then release. And just pause and feel your breath. And we'll move into a downward facing dog, finally. So just set yourself up if you need to kind of do a little wrist prep before you're putting weight bearing on your hands. You can just claw the earth and move your hands in all different ways. And then tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back. And just find a downward facing dog and really think about breathing through your whole rib cage. And remember that ujjayi breath. We're going to go through a flow. We'll go slow through it and just kind of do one pose at a time. And then we'll just take it one breath, one movement, really connecting with that ujjayi breath so that your knees come to the floor, and then just step your right foot forward into a low lunge. And find your low lunge and just reach your arms high. And find all that space in your lungs and your rib cage. And just that awareness in your body, that calm energy that really breathing on purpose brings. Right? When we want to access joy, it often doesn't just spontaneously happen. We need to find it on purpose, right? And aligning our physical body and our energy body and our nervous system body will allow us to access that. Okay, with an exhale, we're going to lean halfway forward, bring your arms back, and then lift that back knee. So we come into a high lunge, leaning forward. And then reach up into a high lunge with your arms high. Push into that left big toe ball mound behind you and reach. And then left arm forward, right arm back. Just find a big open twist. And then from here, we're just going to tip our twist to the floor and bring left hand to the floor inside that right foot. Reach your right arm up. And then this next pose, we're really looking for a twist. So what we're going to do is take our right hand, we're going to thread it past that left rib cage. Turn and ground your left heel and straighten through your right leg and reach back toward your outer left thigh. And if this right leg doesn't get straight, that's fine. Try to keep your left fingertips on the floor as much as they will, and rotate, look under that left armpit, and really think of lengthening through that left side. So I'm gonna turn so you can see what's happening here. So we're just twisting and opening, lengthening through that left side. And then unwind, plant your hands, and step back into your downward facing dog. And we'll just do that same thing on the other side. So bring your knees to the floor. Come upright and step your left foot forward. Find your low lunge, reach your arms high. Breathe into all that space. Tuck those back toes. With your exhale, come halfway forward and lift that back knee. And then we'll inhale to reach your arms high. And just pause, lengthen. And then right arm forward, left arm back. And then we'll tip, right hand to the floor. Find that big open twist. And then ground your right heel. Reach back with that left hand towards your right outer thigh. And really think of lengthening through this whole right side. And then unwind yourself, find your low lunge, and step back into your downward facing dog. So we're just gonna move through that, one breath, one movement. Inhale to reach your right leg up and back. Exhale, step that foot forward between your hands, ground your back knee. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, lift that back knee, lean halfway forward. Inhale and reach high. Exhale, left arm back, left arm forward, right arm back. And then inhale, left hand to the floor, reach that right arm up. And then exhale, find that crazy twist, ground that left heel, straighten through your right leg, reach back toward that left outer thigh. And then inhale, lift that back heel, find your low lunge, and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left foot forward, right knee down. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, halfway forward, lift that back knee. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, left arm back, right arm forward. Inhale, right hand to the floor, left arm up. Exhale, ground that right heel, reach with that left hand toward your right outer thigh. Inhale, low lunge, look forward, plant your hands. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now we're gonna keep going, and you may just be out of sync with me, and that's fine. I want you to pay more attention to your breath and move with that ujaayi breath through that flow. Okay. Inhale, lift that leg. Exhale, step forward, ground your back knee. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, back knee lifts, lean forward. Inhale. Exhale, big open twist. Inhale, ground that left hand. Exhale, ground your left heel, reach back. Inhale, plant both hands, look forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale, reach high, low lunge. Exhale, lift that back knee. Inhale, reach ujaayi. Exhale, left arm back. Inhale, ground that right hand. Exhale, thread that left hand through, straighten that left leg. Inhale, plant both hands, look forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now I'm just gonna breathe. You go through at your own pace. Let's try to do one more time on each side. When you make it to your last downward facing dog, go ahead and find a child's pose and just connect with your breath here. I'm just gonna take a kneel. I didn't pull my hair back, so it's just too much for laying with my face down. Just feel that massage of your heartbeat, feel the warmth of your body, the connection of that movement with your breath. And then find your folded blanket. We're actually just going to use it as a pillow. And we're going to come side lying. Just do a few breaths on our sides. So I'm laying here on my left side with my left arm out long. Take your right arm behind you. And you could even thread those fingers underneath your waist a little bit, or just kind of let that arm drape, maybe fist to the floor. And then let yourself breathe. Lean back enough that you just kind of let this shoulder, let gravity kind of just pull your shoulder back and open. And just let yourself breathe here. And after you've settled for 3 or 4 breaths, You could roll even more to your right so the back of your head comes to your rolled blanket and you're looking up at the ceiling. If that feels friendly in your shoulder. We're just going to be here for 2 more breaths. And then unwind yourself, unwrap that top arm. And then we'll just roll to the other side. So I'm coming onto my right side this time. That head on pillow, right arm straight in front of me. I'm going to take the left arm and just drape it. And then if you want to, you can kind of thread those fingers underneath you. And then lean back a little bit so this left shoulder is just, gravity is drawing it down. It's not like rocket science. Just find a place where it feels like it's just opening through your chest. And after 3 or so breaths, if you want to roll so that you're on the back of your head more, you can, if that feels okay in your shoulder. Really think about breathing the full circumference of your rib cage, that full cylinder of your abdomen. And then go ahead and unroll yourself. Get that left arm out. Push yourself up to a seat and we'll come to our meditation. Now, if you want to do this guided meditation laying down, feel free to make yourself comfortable laying down since it is nighttime. I'm going to find myself on my meditation cushion, but just be closer here. Set yourself up so your spine can be tall. Close your eyes and just let go of the effort of breathing, but pay attention to the air and that energy coming into your body and leaving. Use that tool of your breath to really allow yourself to feel what's happening in your body right now. One of the first gateways to accessing that innate joy is just saying yes to what is. Saying yes to this present moment, whatever it holds. Without wishing it away or thinking it should be different. just with an acknowledgement that everything is as it is. This is what is. And then we can gladden our minds. And one really simple way to really feel that and find that inner gladness is just to bring to mind a being that you really love and that you know loves you in a very uncomplicated way. So it could be a remembered grandparent, could be a beloved pet, could be a little child. Just bring them to your mind's eye and see them happy. See the twinkle in their eye. Just feel in your body the exuberance of their energy, the freshness. Let yourself feel that in your belly, in your heart space. In your arms and your hands, and your legs and your feet, in your throat and your face. Let go of the image, but just keep the feeling. Right, and this is your pause, your opportunity just to install the new operating system. It's an upgrade. That you have to do with intention. You have to choose joy on purpose. We have all these layers of protection that are there to keep us safe and alive, but are also often barriers to our true nature. And it's just part of the journey. Right? All of those protection mechanisms serve a purpose. And they're our teachers and our protectors. And it's not bad to have ego. It's not bad to have fear. It's not bad to have compulsive habits. Those are all efforts for our brain and our body to protect us. And part of our work is just to peel through those layers. It's the journey of this life and the process of living in a body. but it's the default operating system. But we can always upgrade that with our own choice. Just breathe that joy. Bring your hands to your heart. Bow with gratitude. You can offer a prayer of thanks to God, thanks to your body, thanks to your breath. The divine light in me honors the divine light in you. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste.